York City presence. No audience required. Didn't land loud, no ticker tape, no echo. Just the coat holding weather the forecast forgot. City kept moving like I wasn't a question yet. I kept moving like I already was the answer. Corner store glass, learned my face by Tuesday. Held me long enough to know I take up rent. Not the space on the wall, the space in the room. The kind that rearranges furniture without touching it. YORK VEE. Say it like the block says it. No permission, like the bodega awning that's been there before the landlord. YORK VEE. Don't turn your head yet. Some name season slow, like cast iron, like rent control. I felt it early, that pressure drop in the room, not attention. Something older than applause, like how a key fits before the lock admits it. Like how thunder knows lightning already left. Rooms made space before they understood why. Conversations adjusted their collars. When I sat down, I wasn't bigger than it, I just didn't fold. And unfolded things disturb everything that's pressed. No resume in my hands, no references on deck. Just a frequency that don't need to introduce itself. I knew what I was before I gave it a title. That's the kind of knowing that don't need a cosign. They don't see you first. They feel you wrong. Then later, after the room rearranges, they correct the story. Call it timing, call it luck, call it anything that don't admit you were there before the language. Little red Corvette didn't ask for directions. She just knew which block to slow down on. I didn't introduce myself. I let the room try. They'll print it later. But this is the part they always miss. New York City presence. Something that hasn't named yet. NYC Holler, April 1997. It's on the way. No official confirmation. Felt it early, before it had a zip code, before it had a lawyer, before it had a face. Like a rumor that starts in the kitchen and beats the host to every room in the place. Footsteps behind me that don't make a sound, but change how the air sits when nobody's around. City stayed loud, but something went still. The way a conversation stops when someone walks in, who everybody already owes. I wasn't ahead of it, I was inside it. That kind of current you don't outswim, you become. No marquee with my name, no chalk on the board. Just a low frequency certainty. I've been here before the door. On the way, they don't know what yet. Say it anyway, let it settle in the chest like weather. On the way, no proof, no press release. Some things arrive before they know they've begun. They started looking not at me, through me, like I was glass, and something was moving behind it they couldn't quite place. Questions forming in the eyes that the mouth won't ask. That kind of attention is its own confession. You don't hold a stare that long at something ordinary. I didn't explain it, explanations for things that need permission. You don't translate weather, you just step outside and adjust. Wasn't ambition, ambition has an address. This was something older, no forward and then forward. Pick me like a frequency, then move through me like it was always going somewhere else. I just happened to be the clearest signal. They want it named before they feel safe loving it. Want a label on the jar before they taste what's in it. But some things don't wait for the right vocabulary. They pass through you first. And by the time you find the word, you realize the word was always just a way to pretend you saw it coming. I didn't chase it. I recognized it. That's the difference nobody prints. It's on the way! It's on the way! It's on the way! Sources still unable to confirm what.
Breaking news. Brooklyn calling.
The blue ribbon is up for grabs!
Entries now being observed.
They said it out loud. First time I heard it back, not as a feeling anymore, but a metric they could track. Numbers on the lapel, eyes moving in a row, the kind of attention that fears what it can't control. The show floor is a mirror polished till it bleeds light. You don't walk different, but the room frames you tight. I felt the shift not inside, but in the air around. Like the floor learned to hold its breath before I touched the ground. They started comparing, that's when the frequency changed. You don't measure a soul without making it look strange. Put a name to the grace and suddenly it's competition. Put a ribbon on the line and love asks for permission. They call it best in show, I call it reading the room. A whip it, don't pace the ring, the cute rates the gloom. Chest deep like a cello, back arch like a held note. The aerodynamics of a secret hidden in a coat built for the burst. But living in a tuck, stillness is a choice, it ain't a matter of luck. Every muscle saying not yet, until not yet is the past. The artist arrives early, but the ghost is built to last. Brooklyn calling. Now they see the phone, man's best friend moving like a quiet storm. Brooklyn calling. Grace under the eye, loyal to the moment, never to the why. Most spiritual spaces weren't built for this nervous system. They want the stillness, but they fear the prism. They ask you to transcend, but they tell you not to feel. They want the blue ribbon, but they're scared of what's real. Hands on a leash, eyes searching for a flaw. They say they're watching the gate, but they're missing the law. That whipping principle, the power is in the restraint. The speed is a secondary color, the presence is the pain. I don't follow the cadence, I don't ask for the cue. I feel the ground shift 3 seconds before you do. You call it obedience, I call it trust with a standard. A frequency this high can't be bought or commanded. Now they see the phone, best friend moving like a quiet storm. They say best, like it belongs to whoever is holding the silk. Like you can own the hunger, or the shadow, or the milk. Like loyalty is just obedience with better posture. But a whip it don't run for the judge or the roster. It runs because the blood already knew the distance before the gate opened, before the first resistance. You just stand close enough to feel the wind leave, and you call that winning. I call that a reprieve. They thought it was a race. That's where they lost it. A whip it don't chase, Brooklyn calling. It arrives. The blue ribbon is up for grabs. Not all entries are competing. The blue ribbon is up for grabs. Not all entries are competing.
New York news. Interior column. The sacred code. Observed, not taught. Wasn't a curriculum, it was a recognition. Like the way a shadow knows exactly where the light is missing. I watched it in the architecture of the spine. A whip it don't announce the sprint, it refines the line. Chest deep like a cathedral, holding breath they say I should transcend. But the code don't ask to rise above, it asks to enter in. Spine curved like a question that already owns the answer. Moving through the grief of a smile like a slow motion dancer. Loyal without a contract, present without a fee. The kind of connection that don't need a witness to be. Man's best friend doesn't negotiate the clock or the weather. He just walks beside the silence until they fuse together. First law: no harm shall come to man's best friend. Second law: forgive quick, wag harder. They called the sensitivity a burden, told me, be calm or be still. The stillness isn't the absence of intensity, it's the mastery of the will. Most spiritual spaces weren't built for a nervous system this tucked. They want the peace of the surface, but they fear the depth as conduct. I'm a vagabond soul, studying the imperfection of the road. Knowing you don't carry weight, there was never your load. A whip it at full tilt isn't abandoning the peace. He's honoring the pressure until he finds the release. Discipline isn't a guard dog standing at the gate. It's the decision you made at 5 while they made theirs at 8. Speed is not aggression, it's just the natural gait of a heart that refuses to go numb while it waits. No harm, no noise, no need to explain. Forgive and move like you were never in the chain. No rush, no fear, no audience required. The code don't change, it just lives in fires. Third law: move only when it matters. And when you move, do not hesitate. Fourth law: never perform for recognition. Let recognition arrive late. They think the code is a trophy, a ribbon, a name. They think the best in show is the end of the game. But the code is what stays true when the lights go black. When the New York V headline is at the bottom of the stack. It's what moves clean when the world is busy measuring. The vagabond soul in the corner quietly treasuring the fact that you can't own what understands its own origin. You can't cage the wind and you can't judge the sovereign. That's not obedience. That's existence. I didn't build this. I recognized it, like a whippet recognizes distance. Not by checking the map, but by already knowing how the ground feels at the finish. The sacred code. Not part of the competition. New York News, Metro Edition. New York donates 16M in dog funds. Sources cite growing interest. They move the chairs. They move the chairs. Nobody called a meeting, nobody sent the memo. Just more space now, like the room did the math while I was in the lobby. Coffee got better, names got pronounced correctly. The second time, not the fifth. Doors stayed open past the point. They usually remember to click the bolt. I watched the budget line move the way a tide moves. Not dramatic, not announced, no ticker tape parade. Just a different watermark on the same brick wall. They called it investment, called it community. Used a dozen careful words to avoid saying we adjusted. A newspaper column doesn't print what's shifted. It prints the number unless the wise find the name between the lines. A whippet don't beg for a better field. It runs clean once, and the field takes notes, then yields. New York donates, never says your name out loud, but the room gets warmer and the ceiling gets less proud. New York donates, settle in the way power don't announce the shift. It just stays. They see the outcome, the 16M, the blue ribbon spread. They don't see the discipline it rode in on. Not the years of moving clean through rooms that weren't built with your measurements in mind. Not the forgive quick practice, the radical act of not carrying what would slow the stride. Not the loyalty to a code nobody handed you, that you just recognized in the tuck of a chest, the arch of a spine. They call it grace, I call it compound interest. You deposit something true long enough, and eventually even the institution adjusts its rate. Man's best friend doesn't negotiate the field, he becomes the field's memory of what excellence looks like when it isn't performing. New York donates, never says your name out loud, but the room gets warmer and the ceiling gets less proud. They think power is loud because loud is all they've seen move a room. But real power is what changes the temperature before anyone checks the thermostat. What rewrites the standard while the standard is still being recited? What gets 16 million in a headline that doesn't even have to say your name? That's not influence, that's infrastructure. I didn't change the city, I just stayed long enough for the city to change around me. No direct attribution, New York donates 16M in dog funds. No direct attribution.
NYC Dog Show News, Special Edition. February 2025. 2 in a row! Dominican Slew takes the blue again! They lined them up at the Garden, same as the year before. Discipline and bloodline, feet meeting the floor. I watched the working group bow to Monty's frame. Giant schnauzer, floor-length composure. Every inch knew his name. Archer walked the terrier ring like the sky had something to prove. While Freddie the Springer moved, sporting with a rhythmic liquid groove. Mercedes heard it every either way, heard and always does. And Comet in the toy ring turned small into a buzz. I saw every coat, every line, every handler's grip. Reading the dog like a first edition, making sure the pages don't slip. Then I walked Dominican Slew into the center of the light, and the room remembered a frequency from a different February night. It wasn't a debut, it was a re-entry. The whip, it wasn't a guest, he was the sentry. Bourbon held reserve, proved the breed belongs at the top. Dominican Slew walked past the ceiling that bourbon helped install. 2 in a row, they calling it rare. I'm standing still like it was always there. 2 in a row, blue ribbon again. They riding it now, what I knew back then. This isn't a dismissal. Every name earned the floor they stood on. Neil the Bichon moved non-sporting until the doubt was gone.
I respect the cost, the decades of mornings before the flash. The bloodlines passed down through the silence and the ash. But something don't fit inside a standard scorecard. Something moves through a room when you stop trying so hard. Dominican Slew, lean like a decision already made. Chest deep like a cello, back arched in a velvet shade. Spine like a question that already loaded the answer. Every step a comma, not a period. A slow motion dancer. He didn't run for the judge, he ran for the quiet system. The others had the pedigree, he had the vision. 2 in a row, they calling it rare. I'm standing still like it was always there. They think it's victory. It isn't. It's alignment. When what you are matches exactly what the moment requires. Without adjustment, without performance, without starting fires. That's when they call it best. Because they don't have language for inevitable. Bourbon proved the breed could reach the top of the mountain. Dominican Slew moved in. I didn't train him to win, I let him remain. The blue ribbon is just a room, finally catching up to what he already was. Dominican Slew wins the blue again. Second consecutive confirmation. Bourbon name reserve. The Hound Group bows to its own.
New York City presence. The Kinsey-Delancey. No longer listed as an entry. They don't say it loud now, they just use it. The way you use a street name without thinking about who lived there first. Run it like Kinsey, hold it like Delancey. Language don't ask for permission once it turns into a memory. I used to walk in and feel the room adjust its collar. Now I am the adjustment, the math the room does before I even arrive. No more introductions, the name got there first. The way rain's bloodline reached the garden through a century of thirst. The whiskey's trail through bourbon's wide walk grace. Through every dog that carried the code without needing to see the face. That's not inheritance, that's design expressing its own will. A blueprint that don't need the architect to be standing in the room still. A whip it don't end, it just changes the line. What you thought was a moment was a permanent shift in the design. The Kinsey-Delancey. They don't call it a show anymore. It's how things get measured. On every street, on every floor. The Kinsey-Delancey. No ribbon left to defend what started as presence
don't recognize it.
I watch the new lit is quiet, the way you watch a secret keep itself. Dominican Slew's bloodline sitting on the DNA shelf. And the way they stand still and how they refuse the frantic pace, until movement is the only true thing left in the space. Bourbon was a slow bloomer, she showed on her own terms. Whiskey blazed the trail first, she just made sure the lesson learns. Now their line runs through Ivy, winning the specialty in the blue. Before the ink was even dry on the story the world thought it knew. That's what legacy actually looks like. Not a monument or a name, not even a headline at the bottom of a frame. Just a puppy with a deep chest, an arched spine, a tucked flank. Reading the room has never been in drawing from a bloodline bank. Small paws on the hardwood, not performing, not chasing the prize. Just being what 130 champions built behind those quiet eyes. The Kinsey-Delancey, they don't call it a show anymore. It's how things get measured on every street, on every floor. They think legacy is memory. It isn't. It's behavior. What continues without being instructed. What a puppy does in a room is never entered, that makes the room feel like it's finally been reconstructed. But whiskey passed to bourbon, bourbon passed to the line passed to Ivy. None of them tried to be divine, they just were it. And what lives on was never trying to be remembered. It was just too true to be dismembered, too true to stop. I didn't become this. I stayed long enough to be absorbed by it. The code don't need me now. It found new legs. And they don't even know whose stride they're walking in.
The Kinsey-Delancey, the Kinsey-Delancey.
Recognized as standard. The breed continues.
First two gone before the week turned. Quick eyes, strong stance, lessons learned. Hands made decisions, papers got signed. Names left early, ahead of their design. Third male stayed longer than the plan allowed. Not overlooked, just not yet understood. He didn't press forward, didn't compete for the front. Watched how the room moved before he moved in it. Not slow, patient, not weak, still. The kind of restraint you don't install through training, the kind that arrives already knowing itself. They loved him first, that was the rule. The bond came before the discipline, which is why the discipline held. They said he was quiet, I said he was sure. Difference between waiting and not needing more. Third male, still in the room. No rush in his step, no need to assume. Third male, not first in the line. Some things don't show early, they arrive on their time. They held him back, not for demand, but something in him didn't follow the standard arc. Movement too clean, eyes too aware, like he understood what wasn't there. The conditioning came natural, treadmill, grooming, but underneath was something the training didn't make. A temperament that arrived in the whelping box and waited for the world to catch up. Dominican Slew, named him late, not for the moment, but for something innate. The way you name a river, not because you made it move, but because you finally understood where it was going. You don't sell instinct, you don't rush code. Some lines stay quiet before they declare. Third male, still in the room, no rush in his step, no need to assume. Third male, not first in the line. Some things don't show early, they arrive on their time. They think selection is recognition. It isn't. Selection is just the world making a decision. It was always going to make, sometimes early, sometimes late. Some things get chosen late because they weren't meant to belong early. You don't rush what understands itself. You wait until the world runs out of ways to ignore it. He wasn't left behind, he was left alone long enough to be right. Difference between those two is the whole story. Litter didn't define him, kennel didn't define him. He was already defined. The world just needed time to develop the photograph. Kinsey-Delancey knew this the same way the corner store glass knew it by Tuesday. Dominican Slew didn't arrive at Westminster. He arrived the morning he stayed when the others left. The ring was just the world finally catching up. Third nail, still in the room, no rush, no need. Some things don't show early, they arrive on their time. Stay breeder log. No media placement. Understood.